swap into acre function. So everybody should have one radio. Hit Control Shift X, and that should bring up a gray radio with TFP 111 in there. That is your 343. Does everyone have that?
Affirmative.
Alright, so your 343 radio is for basic section level communication. Right now, that's all you're going to get. You're not going to get anything more than that. So on that radio, you don't really have to worry about proper radios and procedures. You can just call people by their name. So, like, I'll do radio check with Mangoff.
Mangoff, do you hear me?
My fucking radio isn't working.
Melissa, do you hear me? Loud and clear. Over.
So, that way, by me saying radio check, or just saying, can you hear me, him and I are on the same radio synced up. So if I have a problem, or there's an enemy coming this way, and be like,
hey Ballista, directly east, besides the big building, there's enemy over there.
at this point, he knows who's there and what's going on. So, another thing you can do with the radio is hit Control Shift left arrow, and that will set the radio to your left ear. That's more useful when you have two radios. What that will do is it allows you to have one radio coming in through one ear and one through another, so it's not garbled.
Yeah, just to clarify, you can set it to either the left or right arrow, and down centers it to both ears again. Or up one of those two arrows.
Alright, just for clarification, is that Shift Control what?
Control Shift left arrow for left ear, Control Shift right arrow for right ear, and Control Shift down or up to center ear, which is all ears.
To the third ear, the one on your forehead.
And to pull up your radio, just to go through it again, is Control Shift X.
Now, to change channels on the radio, there is a little knob at the top that says 1 to 15. If you click that once, it'll change it to channel 2. Once you're on channel 2, let me know.
I'm on channel 2.
Yeah, go on channel 2, so go into your radio, hit the knob once, you'll come on a white dot, which will be a little bit to the left, oddly enough, and then just say, do you hear me, kind of thing on the radio.
Radio check.
Loud and clear. I hear you.
Alright, now, Irby, do you radio check?
Radio check.
Alright, so switch channels.
Just one more thing. The other knob at the top is the volume. I keep mine about 7. 9 seems too loud, but it's all preferenced on your sound settings, I guess.
Yep. To switch the volume, which he already did, so to go back a channel, you would just hit right, just right on the knob, and it'll turn the knob back. That should be easy. Should I go over the 340 or the 148?
Yeah, we can have them look at it, yeah.
Alright, so I'm gonna give you guys 148. This is used by section commanders enough, just so they can communicate with the platoon commander. Alright, here's a 148 for you, and a 148 for you. Alright, so pick those up. Now, when you switch radio, hit Control Shift A or S, and you'll see in the bottom right it comes up 148 or 342. So once you have it on 148, hit Control Shift X to bring up your radio again. It will say 1CH volume and then your frequency. Does everyone see that?
No, I must have missed a step.
Control Shift X, that should bring up your 148 radio.
Negative, I got a TFP 111.
Okay, hit Control Shift A.
Control Shift A.
That should now hit it.
Okay.
So you browse the black radio?
Yes.
That's a switch radio. It's Control Shift A or Control Shift S. So to switch channel, you should see a down arrow and an up arrow. Click the up arrow and that'll bring you to channel 2. Once you're on channel 2, do radio check.
Radio check. Loud and clear.
CJ comms check.
Loud. Radio check. Yeah, I heard you first, no worries.
Alright, so once you have that down, if you go in back into your radio and you see mode, click mode 1. That will bring you to, I think it's frequencies. I don't know what that is.
Yep, we don't touch them.
Yeah, don't touch that. Click
Oh.
it again, that'll bring you to power. It should say current and new. So, at all times, you're going to want it 5,000 power. 5,000 power increases the range to 5 clicks. To do that, hit the down arrow once, and you should see new 5,000 and current at 100, correct?
Correct.
Alright, now if you hit, I think it's enter, or... Yep, enter. Then go back to that, doing the same thing, mode. It should say current new 5,000.
Copy that.
Now you send your radio to 5,000 meters. So on the 148, you're going to have to use proper comms. We'll go over those once you get to a higher position. Couple things for the radio. You cannot talk over each other. It is very tedious for the person who's listening to trying to decipher both messages. If you do talk over somebody on the radio, you will not hear them talking. So be very aware of when you do go on the radio. If you have an important message on the radio, say break. When you want somebody to say something again, do not say repeat. Repeat means for the artillery observer to drop another artillery barrage on whatever you're dropping on. That could be your head. So, for example, Ballista and I will do something like that.
Yeah, Ballista, come in. Oh, using the 148 because I'm not.
Yeah, using
148.
148.
I don't have one. I don't.
Oh,
Fine, I'll grab
Well,
it.
I'll do a radio check with you. Hold on. I'll do one with you. All 1-1 call signs. This is 1-1. Radio check over.
1-1, say again, over.
Say again. All 1-1 call signs. This is 1-1. Radio check over.
This is 1-1 minor on there.
Alright. So what that just did is I didn't hear him. Well, I did hear him the first time, but sometimes you don't hear somebody. I should say it again. That way he knows to say it again, and no one drops artillery in your head. So, when, so communication is pretty much essential. I mean, without it, everything's just going to go to hell. So make sure you're not stepping on each other on the radio. If you hear somebody stepping on each other on the radio, just tell them afterwards, like, alright, you two step over each other, go one at a time, or something like that. Proper communication during combat ops is crucial. Idle chatter cannot be allowed to interrupt or override critically important information. Do not go on the radio and talk about how you saw Batman last night and how good it was. Alright? That is useless to everybody. It's not appropriate. Same direct comms or something like that, alright? Contact reports, commander's orders, or casualty evacs are requests. They take priority. When you hear wait out, just shut up, because something very important is about to come through the radio. Even just stop talking in game. Alright, so